Welcome to the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me, Jon Watts, today in my swing studio. Today's video is going to be on the most frequent question I get. How do I shallow my downswing? So I have done some videos on this in the past, and there are lots of areas we could focus on to help shallow our downswing, but this is going to be the most simplistic video you'll ever see, and I'm going to give you an easy exercise that you can do to feel that club shallowing correctly in your transition. So first of all, for those who are a little bit newer at it or into it, what is shallowing? Well, what we see with the majority of elite golfers is they go back on one line and their club actually then drops almost to a slightly lower swing plane line as it's approaching the ball. What benefit does that have? It allows an in to square to in path, so we're more likely to be hitting a draw shape which would be desired for most amateurs, and it's going to give us a little bit more distance. And it also, with this club in our hands with our driver, means that we're more likely to be hitting slightly on the way up, which again is very good for distance. What we see with the majority of struggling golfers, high handicappers, slicers, faders out there is we see one backswing line, quite often too much around their body, but we won't focus too much on that, but we see a steepening on the downswing where the club is moving this way into the golf ball. You can see that's having the opposite effect. That's meaning I'm hitting more down and swinging more across the golf ball. That's giving me this glancing blow. So I think we all understand we'd prefer a shallowing effect where we get to the top of the backswing and the club is actually falling a little bit more behind us as we start our downswing, and then we can unwind into impact. Now, as I said, this is going to be a really simple video. I'm not going to focus on the movement of our knees, our hips, how we use the ground. I'm just going to really focus on the arms. And I have done a video on this before talking about don't pull down, almost feel like you leave your arms up. And I guess this has got some similar parts to that. What I want us to try and get the feeling of is actually that we're really light, almost letting go of the golf club at the top, just allowing that club to fall. Where's the weight on this golf club? Well, the majority of it is down this end. When it's at the top of the swing, which direction does it want to move? So if I put no pressure on this, the club wants to fall down behind me, okay? So for me to steepen, I've got to actually apply pressure on it and make some kind of move to compensate for the fact the club is going this way. Now, a lot of golfers get worried, well, what if the club falls too far behind me here? We just rotate harder. You know, it actually doesn't matter too much, even if the club's behind us. As long as we rotate, we can square the club face, we can time it absolutely fine. Yes, we could get trapped, but when we get trapped, it's generally players trying to pull their arms down. That's a very different movement, and I can feel a lot of tension created when I do it. So what I'm going to ask you to do is get to the top of the backswing, almost feel like you're as loose as you can, allow the club to fall before we turn through. So it's almost going to be a stop. Let the club fall and swing down. I get a lot of golfers when they're trying to shallow, they're trying to go this way and move their arms a long way behind their body. What effect does that have? Well, I'm early extending, I'm losing my posture, I'm more likely to be hitting the ground well behind the golf ball. So when you're doing this, I want you to think about or focus on maintaining your posture, winding up to the top of the backswing, still maintain your posture, almost just allow the club to fall. I'm almost feeling like I start to let go of the golf club and the club is shallowing before I turn through. So let's see if we can give that a go now. So what I'm going to do is put obviously the golf ball in the way. I'm going to try and stop at the top, allow my arms to shallow by the feeling of nice and soft, not pulling the club down, just allowing the club weight to try and feel like it's dropping behind me before creating rotation through. Not worrying about the distance, not overly worrying about the direction. What I want to see is an upward angle of attack and an in to out swing path. So stop at the top. And just got that feeling of allowing the club to fall before I created rotation. The shape looked good. So nice little soft draw. Let's look at the number quickly. hit up on it by just under 3 degrees and swing into out by 5 degrees. So exactly what I'm looking to do. The next stage from there would just be a freezer. So we stop at the top and we turn and hit it from there. So we're not actually going from there, fall, then hit. We're just going to actually stop at the top and then hit. But again, feeling very soft arms, not trying to pull the club down, almost like I'm leaving my arms up there. Let's give that a go. It was just very toey. Let's see if I got the desired upward angle of attack and into out swing path. I hit up on the ball by 1 degree. I was into out by 1.2. I definitely need to do that more then, don't I? And then I would put that into a full movement without stopping. So we're just doing it almost in baby steps. Remember, the first stage is almost to feel like we stop, allow the club to fall before we turn through. Lots of drumming that in before we get into the freezer where we stop at the top and hit it from there before we put it into a full movement. So let me see if I can hit one full one, creating that nice into out and upward angle of attack. Definitely finding the toe of the golf club on both of those. Not my best strikes, I'm afraid, but let's have a little look at the number again. Yeah, into out by 2.7 and up on the ball by 2. So definitely creating the desired path and angle of attack. I just need to improve that contact. It's a bit out the toe of the golf club. If you are catching them a toe, just make sure we are maintaining posture. So we're allowing the club to fall, but we're maintaining posture. What we don't want to do is start to get this movement at all because we're trying to change direction. Allow that club weight to do what it wants to do. It wants to go this way. That is the simplest way to shallow your golf club. Yes, it's going to take a little bit of practice, but it's not going to be a huge amount there to get that feeling of the club falling a little bit more behind you. And I know that's going to help you create an upward angle of attack and an into out swing path. So if you struggle fading, slicing it, hitting down on the driver, this is going to really help you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. There's all the other content every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 5:30. Thanks guys, we'll see you soon.